Oh, okay, that's good, that's.
Did you want it?
No, but I should have something.
Take a look at it.
I
That was the one that-
home that I.
That was the one paper one that we got, right?
Right.
This is for me?
Yeah. Or you can look at it, I think it's Rich's.
Oh, yeah, I looked at this,
Okay.
but I didn't, wait, Michael, where did I?
I didn't get copies from,
It's okay, don't worry about it.
No, that's all right, I think we should all.
Okay. Whew. Man. How are you?
I'm good,
Yeah.
better day today.
That's good.
How about you?
Hectic, but it will be getting better now. So I went up to Wisconsin. I drove my daughter up there to my parents' house because she's gonna be there for the weekend.
Oh,
And so I just got back in town like 15 minutes ago.
oh, okay, you peeled into town.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of scary. I'm like, oh.
The traffic, like,
Traffic, and my parents, I'm gonna be doing some, need to get some heavy machinery, and so I'm borrowing my parents' vehicle that has a tow hitch and their trailer, and,
oh, so you were pulling a trailer.
I was pulling a trailer, and with the electric car, and I was like, is this gonna make it back? Cause suddenly the efficiency just dives, you know, around the highway. So luckily I made it. Without any issue with, like-
Oh, Micah, that would've been scary.
I know, I was like, do I have to stop the charge? This is gonna be terrible. But no, we were all good. Had 15% battery left, so. Barely made it.
Are you anticipating anybody showing up?
I don't know. I think the,
Oh, we're
okay,
late.
stream is live. We'll wait for,
Rich is making copies.
yeah, we can get started.
We're ready to roll.
Yeah, you all set?
Yes.
Thank you. Anti-staple. Oh, wow. All right, well then I'd like to call this meeting to order. Today's Thursday, March 5th, 2026. It's 6:31 p.m. We're meeting at City Hall, second floor conference room. Let's start off with attendance.
Sarah Barnett Bruckmann, 7th Ward.
Third Ward Alderman Richard Leja.
And First Ward Alderman Micah Caldwell. We'll now open the floor for open forum public comment in case anybody would like to say anything, including either of you. If there's anything that you want to bring up that is not on the agenda, you'll just have to state your name for the record. Anything, any comments? All right, hearing none, let's move on then. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the meeting on January 13th, 2026. So these were the meetings that were presented to council on January 27th at that meeting, but they must be formally approved by the committee itself in order to be compliant. So would anyone like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All right, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, minutes are approved. Next item 5 on the agenda is just giving an update on partner representatives. So I reached out to the folks who are going to be joining who are not the community representatives. So people from each of the park districts, the township, the recreation department, and the city treasurer as well. And so far, right now, I've confirmed participation and attendance from the rec department representative, the Berwyn Park District representative, and the township representative. So I'm still waiting for confirmation of attendance from North Berwyn Park District and the treasurer, but I imagine we'll be hearing back soon, and I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. So far, everyone has said that they'll be able to attend, so I think we should have a quorum and be able to proceed with our meeting on the 19th, just based on feedback so far. So that's kinda all I have for that item. Yeah,
I believe that the North Berwyn Park District has some sort of voting on one of their award. They've got a program that night, and I know Joe emailed and said if he can't make it, he would send a proxy.
okay, gotcha.
Is it the best of Berlin?
I think it's voting, yeah.
Okay, so that wouldn't help us.
No,
Okay.
Gotcha, so it's more of their internal
yeah,
event,
yeah.
gotcha.
And it's March 19th.
Yeah, we can talk about that when we get to the meeting date, but I think we're talking about 6 PM on the 19th.
Okay.
Cool, anything else for item 5, in terms of talking about representatives, that kind of thing? All right, well then, I guess we'll move on to item 6, this is the kind of the main purpose of the meeting. Just formally appointing and seating the 6 community members who are gonna, serve on the committee. So based on the communication from the mayor, that was establishing the committee, each alder appoints 2 community members to the committee. We got great participation, we received 40 applications, so that's a great deal of interest from the community, which I think is great. A lot of people who are interested in what we're doing here and wanna take part in that. Obviously, we had the hard job of then selecting from that pool, no pun intended, only 6 people. And I just wanna kinda say this for the record, if people are watching online, that it was difficult to narrow down. I'm really grateful for everybody who did submit an application, and I really hope that people continue to stay engaged, just knowing the way that this committee is gonna move forward. The hope is that we get a lot of feedback from residents, and so I think there's gonna still be a lot of opportunities to participate and influence the direction of the pool, whether you're on the committee or not. So, yeah, I know that we have all come prepared with individuals who we would like to appoint. So for this next process, I'm just gonna ask each alder to announce their appointees, give a brief explanation on why they were selected, and then at the end, we'll make just one motion to seat all of the members, and there will be opportunity for discussion before the final vote if desired. So let's start all with Alderperson Bruckmann to announce your 2 appointees.
Thank you. Okay, so for the north side of Berwyn, and just to clarify, because we did go based on areas, geographic areas for the 3 of us representing 3 different areas of Berwyn.
Yeah.
So Mike Ridge is my first selection. He has worked in municipal finance. He's also been on the Y board as well. Has been involved in funding different entities and has good financial knowledge, so he will be an asset. And then my second is Inez. I'm gonna botch the last name and I apologize. Sahagan Bahena. So she has a background in grant management. I believe she's a librarian. But she's worked with financial matters in the public space as well as grant management and budget management. So those are my 2.
All right, now we'll go to Alderman Leja.
Okay, so my first one is Nancy Kusinski. And she is a lifelong, or many years, I forget what it was, resident, a lover of the pool, at the pool a lot, all the time. She knows it intimately. She's got a lot of ideas on things that we can do to improve what we have or move beyond that. But she would be a good fit. And the next one is Elizabeth Tarabur. She is in healthcare, and so she also loves the pool, wants it to succeed. And I think having someone with healthcare and stuff might be a different idea of looking at a different way of what we're gonna do with the pool and stuff. So those are my two.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, and from my end, my first nominee or first appointment is Chris Nesbitt. So she is a longtime resident, a parent involved in the Irving PTO, but also has a lot of experience with capital management, so real life experience in terms of obtaining and managing funding for projects and that kind of thing. And I think that she would be a great asset to the committee in terms of having some of that knowledge from that side of things in terms of at the end of the day, we have to find out how to fund this thing. And so I think that would be a big asset is having someone who has that experience. So that's Chris, and then the other person who I'll be appointing is Juan Guerrero, who has just tons of experience from the operational side. So has a lot of experience, 15 plus years of experience with aquatics and youth programming and management, has worked at the pool as well as the YMCA and several other locations, Max Aquatics, that kind of thing. So just has a lot of detailed knowledge about what goes into running a pool effectively and what kinds of programs would be desired by a community, that kind of thing. So I think they sort of fill different areas, right? One more focused on the funding piece, right, and getting that operational, and as well as a parent versus someone who has the operational experience and knows what goes into the running something like that. So, all right, with that all presented, then could I have a motion to formally seat the 6 announced community members?
So moved.
Second.
All right, prior to a final vote, any discussion or any concerns or things that you would like to bring up?
No.
Wonderful, all right. Well then, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and opposed? Motion carries unanimously, and this is really exciting. We get to finally welcome all the community members, and that means that we have a fully formed committee now. So that means that we can move on to the next item. I don't think we need to get super in the weeds on this, but now that we have our full committee in place, I just want to make sure that our first meeting is going to be productive, but also not too bloated, because there's a lot to chew on here. So I guess I'm looking for feedback on what you think the first meeting should include. We're not going to be talking about details of the pool itself here, but I just want to kind of get a grasp of, for this first meeting, what do you think is essential that we cover so that we can start on the right foot?
Well, I have been doing my due diligence with the pool. So I took a lot of notes, I have a lot of things. I'm wondering if we could do, I could share this with everyone, but also, should we go there and look at it? I mean, I've been there, I walked the area, I talked to the people and stuff. Might we do something like that, all of us? Or I could just share it with everyone.
Or bring the group as a,
Well, right.
Well,
like a meeting at the rec.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where we have our meetings.
Hey, that's an idea.
Yeah, that's not a bad thought.
Although,
Yeah, for live streaming purposes, it would be nice, but maybe we do at least one kind of meeting there. Maybe we even invite people from the rec to come.
well, let's back this up. I think what we need to do is another piece of this is gonna be having the community meetings, right?
Yes.
So I think setting, I don't wanna say like a master calendar, but we could say like, all right, the goal is to have quarterly community meetings and then kind of flush that out. And then
Yep.
we'd also need to have the working meetings of the committee, right? Kind of, and I would maybe staggered or something to that, but I think us laying out the groundwork for how we're gonna accomplish this. And you know, maybe the first community meeting is really just letting people come and hearing their ideas.
Right.
But I think as we get further into it, they might need to be a little more structured as to topics.
For community feedback, like listening session type things? Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking
I mean, I
about?
think
Yeah.
we need to plan those, but also, like, if then down the line, it's like, hypothetically, if it was like, okay, you know, funding mechanisms or whatever, like,
Right.
this is what, I mean, there would need to be some substance that we would present
Right.
to the community
Right.
Topics
as
for
well.
different meetings with different topics.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Otherwise, it's just wish casting and like,
correct,
oh, okay, this would be nice, but then
Right.
actually taking that and
yeah,
directing it into something. Yeah, that was gonna be definitely one of the things that I wanted to prioritize during this first meeting is like setting timelines, at least rough timelines for doing the work, just so that we can know what checkpoints we need to hit along the way.
Yeah.
and I don't know, and maybe this will work itself out kind of organically, but do we need or want, like, two subcommittees, one on finance, one on whatever, you know what I mean, like, as that works as well. Would that be helpful in getting some of the content, a little more organized with a tighter working group?
Right. I think that could make sense because then you're taking, instead of having it be the entire group, you say, this is, you know, the responsibility of these few people. If it's too big of a group, then nobody does anything,
Mhm.
you know, just because the
Mhm.
responsibility is too diffuse.
Mhm.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I, of course, I'd like to try to, you know, before the meeting, my personal goal is to try to gather as much background material as I can, you know, like what's been tried before, what's the current state of the pool and.
I do have a lot of that here.
Okay, great.
What's been done not long ago, what is still of use.
Yeah.
What warranties are out.
Yeah.
What needs to be, for instance, biggest concern, south wall, stuff like that.
Gotcha, okay, great. Yeah, I'd love to see all your notes, I think that would be great to share out and, you know, if possible, try to share that before the meeting so that way we don't have to read through stuff live.
Mhm.
Right,
Um,
right.
And then, yeah, and then starting to organize the listening sessions. I don't think I want, I think beyond that, you know, there's the standard stuff like having people introduce themselves and.
And I think also maybe what we could get ahead of time, perhaps from the rec representative, is like maybe their budget for the pool and what, like, their, you know, the
Yeah.
operational, the capital budgets, so that we can all have a baseline understanding of the operating costs for
Current.
a year, yeah.
Yeah,
And like you said, the needs, but they should have their annual stuff shareable.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Might be a little hard to disentangle certain things like, well, actually that would be fine. If it's not pool specific, you know, then that would, I'm thinking about like an employee who does work with the pool, but also does it in other parts of the rec. Well, they're still gonna be there.
You mean like salaries?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was thinking, well, that salaries are part of it, but their whole
Yeah.
budget, you know, the operating of it, but the maintenance, and then, you know, I think we're gonna need to dig in from them. 'Cause my understanding is, correct me if I'm wrong, but if the goal, you know, if the goal and one of the possible outcomes is full-on new construction, that's one piece right here.
Mhm.
But understanding what we're working with now, at least when we're starting out, is probably,
Right,
Right, and how far we can go.
cause we won't need all that if the actual goal is new construction.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then that becomes a whole other.
Yes, that's the direction.
totally.
Mhm.
Well, that's gonna, maybe that's not something that we're gonna be able to answer during this first meeting, but something that I have to sort of consider is just like, what are we hoping to accomplish, right? Like, what is the goal? Is it new construction, is it whatever? That's a question on my mind too, it's just like,
So when
what's.
I get all of this to you, you'll read through it and say, is it worth saving? So,
Yeah,
I'll get these to you.
okay, great. Okay, I think that's a good starting place. Anything else that you kind of want included in that first meeting that you're thinking of off the top of your mind? You can also message me, you know, at a later point if you think of something. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a good starting place.
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, then let's talk about the next meeting date. I just wanna confirm, so our first fully seated committee meeting, what we said last time, and it seems like this will still work so far, is March 19th at 6 p.m.
That's fine.
Does that work?
Mhm.
Yes, I already have it on the calendar.
Great.
I must have said that before.
And
As do
then,
I.
since we're gonna be such a big group, we're gonna meet in chambers.
Okay.
Okay.
Just to make it easier, and then if we have folks from the public attending, then it's comfortable and not like crammed into the space. Cool. All right. That also, yes.
So sort of with this, but also just wrapping up this one, are we going to, should each of us contact our appointees with like a,
Great question. Why don't I just email each of them individually, and I'll CC you guys on each of the emails, if that makes sense?
sure,
Does that work?
that's fine.
And then that can help me with just kind of orienting them and talking about the upcoming meeting and all that stuff.
And then similarly, those who, thank you, but weren't selected, can your form stack thing like,
I don't think you can do that, but I don't mind going through and, you know, sending kind of a bulk email.
thank
To
you
folks,
for,
yeah.
for volunteering?
Right, for applying. Yeah,
Okay,
I think that makes sense.
okay.
Because we want folks to know.
Yeah, I mean, yes,
I wonder.
Unlike, you know, applying to jobs or something like that where you never get a reply. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so respond to appointees and others who applied. Okay. Yep. All right. Wonderful. Well, unless there's anything else, is there a, you know, would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
thanks.
Exciting. Cool. Good.
Great.
Now we can actually get to business.
Did you turn that up?
I don't know. Thanks. Now that we're all done.
All right, well, thanks, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you both. I'm gonna go get some dinner.
Oh, that's right, you've been driving.
I know, I've been on the road. It's nice to relax a little bit.